I've been feeling a little bit depresso, espresso. It wasn't about you, it wasn't about me. But no, I realized I need to point the finger back at myself. I would have made time because now I know. Oh my god, hold on. Okay, this is off the record. Hello guys and welcome back to another episode at Hailey off the record. Today I got my drink with me because we are going to get into something juicy. Today I want to tell you guys about brutal truth I wish I knew at 16 that I do know now. For the record, if I sound a little bit husky and coarse, it's because I'm getting over being sick. We're in this middle of changing seasons in Vietnam. That's why I'm sick. Everybody's sick. And also, not gonna lie, I've been feeling a little bit
depresso
for the last week.
I've been feeling some type of way.
At first I thought that maybe I will skip filming for Hailey off the record this week, but you know what, I do need this session because I have some time, 4 days, to really sit with my thoughts and think and integrate, really just figuring out what the hell is wrong with me now. I'm not yet at the conclusion, but I know I am feeling better and I have got some really good thoughts out of it. You know, the thought that really nourishing yourself. So roll the clip because we're getting into it. Number one, you do not need to be liked by everyone. You don't have to be friends with everyone. Girl, I know. I wish I knew this because for some reason, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I am the eldest daughter. When I was going to school, I moved to New Zealand when I was 14 and this was 11, 12 years ago. This was a time when I developed this need of needing to be liked by everyone. And naturally, being the new kid, being the Asian kid, I try so hard to be liked by everyone. I don't know, I just feel this pressure that I need to be liked by everyone to feel some sort of worthiness. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense now, but it made sense to me somehow in my head back then. I tried so hard to act a certain way, talk a certain way. I put up with a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have put up now. I ended up being friends with people I wouldn't have been friends with now. I was putting up with racist jokes. I was putting up with being a punching bag. I was putting up with being bullied by my own friend because I was afraid to be the one that have no friend. I was afraid to be perceived by myself. But the older I get, I realize that people are entitled to their own opinion. Like, you cannot make somebody see your value because in their head they already write the story themselves. The story is already written in their head, and that's okay because at the end of the day, you know that's not true. Whatever they think about you, trying to be liked by everyone gets so exhausting. It gets so exhausting to the point you get stuck in this loop of constantly trying, doing a lot without ever feeling like you're enough. And that feeling of never feeling like you're enough despite whatever you do, you don't want to get stuck in that feeling. That's number one. Number two, people are going to dim your light because they see you as a mirror of what they lack. Yep, babe, it was never about you. It wasn't about you. It wasn't about me. It was that they fear what they see in you is what they lack, and it's become confrontation because they can't control that fear. They needed to insert some dominance. They need to control the way other people views you, so they go on to bully you. They will make fun of you. They will make snarky comments. It was never about you. Trust me. Oh, my high school bully, as far as I do know, the girl that was being mean to me in high school, babe, they're not living as good as I thought they would be, so no revenge because I'm happy now. Number three, you didn't wish you would grow up fast to do all these things. Trust me, babe. When I was a teenager, I wish I would grow up so fast. I was sick of having assignments, going to class, you know, the boring routine, and dealing with all the bullying and snarky remarks. I remember when I was 16 and had my first part-time job, and you know, I was earning like $12 an hour in New Zealand, so that's like what, 6 USD. I was so proud of myself because I could afford to buy myself like all these little treats, get a snack, buy like a new lipsticks or something. I was so damn proud of myself. Yep, she's come a long way. But I remember in my head at that time, I was just thinking, I cannot wait to become an adult and I could just work and make money. And I think 16 years old Hailey hasn't accounted in the fact that, yeah, you do get to work and make money, but there's way a lot more responsibility waiting for you and not all the fun. A lot of the time when I become an adult, I think back like,
Wow, I really wish I could travel back to the time where my only stress was my history external assessment due next Thursday.
Because, you know, there come a time where there's just things after things after thing after thing that's I just can't deal with the pressure. And like, time is the only thing that you can never get back. Everything else, money comes and go, friends come and go, you know, lovers come and go, everything come and go. Time is the only thing you can never get that. And if you're like me, I did not have a very good experience with my teenage year. Now looking back as an adult, I really wish that I would just live in the moment more and treasure all the good moments. You know, a lot of it triggered my first feelings, and the feeling of feeling something for the first time, there's always something really special about that. Sometimes I wish I could feel again, but that boat has already sailed. So I always remind myself that I need to be living more in the moment, because me from 10-20 years from now, I'll probably look back and I didn't want to have any regrets that I didn't fully enjoy my 20s like the way I felt with my teenage year, because I was just trying to live way too fast. And that brought me to the next point. Spend time with your loved one, because you just never know if you're gonna get the next time. For the last 3 years, I shared before on Hailey off the record that I lost my grandparents, my grandpa from my mom's side and my grandma from my dad's side, both to stroke, and very unexpectedly, both the same time that I was set to fly back to Vietnam. These are my grandparents who I grow up with, who I spent a lot of my childhood time with. And especially with my grandma, I was just on the phone with her the week before, and she was asking me what would I like to eat so she can get it and have it ready for me at the house when I arrive. That's just something she always do for me. That's her kind of love language. By the time I touched down in Vietnam, she's not there anymore. So now kind of when I miss her, I go and eat her favorite food. Oh my god. So yeah, take it from me, tomorrow is really not promised, and I do believe that these two loss in my family happen back to back in a very similar manner. This message that the universe is trying to tell me that, you know, tomorrow is not promised. Spend time with them now, make memory, don't make regrets. A lot of time where she would call me, I would be very busy, I couldn't pick up the phone, or I would talk really fast. And thinking back, I wish I would have made time, because now I know that's, you know, work come and go. I have all this time for the rest of my life. Oh my god, hold on. You know, your grandparents, your parents, your sibling, they're only getting older. These times with them are limited. So don't make memory, don't make regret. Spend time with them so you do not have any regrets looking back. Next one, let's clear up the mood a little bit. That boy, yep, I know, you know, we all have that one boy. The one we really thought was the love of our life. The one. As your big sis, let me tell you this, it happened and it mattered, but he really wouldn't. You probably end up hating it if it would have lasted. We probably both have a lot of thoughts that's,
what could I have done better? Why did I mess it up? Or why did the person have to do that and ruin it? I wish it would have worked out.
no babe, you do not wish that. If it would have worked out, you would have hated. You know why I know? Because even you outgrow yourself, babe. You for sure is going to outgrow that relationship. And take this from me, because sometimes I be getting in my stalking mode. I like to look at couples in high school that was like so lovey-dovey, and like they would swear that,
These are my high school sweetheart. We are going to last forever.
babe, they're all broken up. Yup, these are the people who's been with each other since high school, and I'm not saying this that it applies to everybody, but I'm sure it's applied to most. Because you outgrow yourself as the person. As you grow older, as you experience more things in life, as you integrate your thoughts, you are going to change your mind about a lot of things. Your perception of success, perception of happiness, your perception of love, your idea of a perfect partner, your idea of a soulmate, your idea of what you want in the relationship. The same person that entered the relationship is not going to be the person you are in 3 years, in 5 years, in 10 years. And trust me, as somebody who have very vivid sensory memory of certain emotions, it took me a lot to be able to realize that it did matter, it did happen, it was love for what I knew it was, but it wasn't it. It wasn't it for me, it wasn't it for you, it wasn't it for us. And trust me, rejection is redirection. Because if you think that was the love of your life, where you feel this intense, passionate kind of love, it's out of the world sensation, imagine the people you are yet to meet, who I know exist out there somewhere in the world, who are dying to meet a soul like you, who would feel incredibly lucky to be loved the way you love. Just imagine it this way. Close your eyes with me, and I want you to imagine all your love and kindness that you put into the world all coming back to you in this embodiment of a person in a human form. That's the love of your life waiting for you in the future. So sometimes we just gotta close the door in order to keep walking the path and find the open door for us. Okay, I don't know what number are we now, but if they want to, they would. If they don't, somebody else will. Yup. And this is just to support my previous point that people are entitled to their own opinion. And you cannot convince somebody of your value because, like I said, they already write the story in their head. You cannot change that. And this one quote has really stuck with me. The way somebody treat you is how they see you, but the way you let they treat you is how you see yourself. Let's just focus on the first part. The way somebody treat you is how they see you. So if they are treating you like a doormat, like, that's how they're viewing you, and I don't think you want to be with that person. So yeah, if they want to, they would. If they don't, somebody else will, because the person who truly value you will not need any convincing of how to treat you right. They just know. It will just feel like second natures to them. They will just match your love language perfectly. They will remember the little things. They will make you feel safe and passionate and alive at the same time. I don't know how it's possible, but they'll be able to, because that's the person for you. Number 7, 2 people can be hurting at the same time. For a long time, I held this perceptions that there need to be a villain and a good guy in a story, okay? And let's take this from a lot of my story, especially my first relationship, my first love. Here we go again. I realized after a lot of integration, and the more I talk about it, I realized that both the pain was valid. I brought on a lot of pain to him. He brought on a lot of pain to me. We could both be hurting at the same time. When I was going through it as a teenager, I had tried to portray him as the villain in my head just so that I could get over it faster and feel better about myself. But no, I realized I need to point the finger back at myself and realize that no, I did cause a lot of pain too, and I need to take accountability for that. I cannot speak for anybody else, but you can be a good person and can still unintentionally hurt somebody you care about a lot, because you're just a human. And especially at a young age, you probably don't have the tools, you don't have the maturities and emotion to be able to process things, to act maturely like how adult you would have known. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're the bad guy now because you inflict pain and you break up with the person, and that excuse them for doing something back to get back at you, intentionally or unintentionally. Both people can be hurting at once. Both people can be good people. Hurt people. As young teenagers, we simply just didn't have to be able to behave the way we would as an adult. So I would say save yourself going back and blame yourself, blame the other person, and just integrate that thought and just accept that that was the lesson you needed to learn from it. Both people can be hurting at the same time. Both pains are valid. He's not the bad guy, I'm not the bad guy. It did happen, it did matter to me, but it's in the past now. I've learned from it and I've moved on. Number 8, you are so much more than your body. I know. Sit down, bestie, because growing up as a teenage girl, I know a lot of us deal with our body image. A lot. You ever look back at the photo of yourself in the past and think, wow, I thought I was fat back then, but I wasn't. I wish I was that fit now. But yourself in the past time was thinking that, oh my god, I need to lose X amount of kgs. I need to get to this size so I can get confident. When I look like that girl, I will finally feel good about myself again. Babe, all that time of skipping out on food, saying no to going out with your friend, all the tactics and coping mechanism we do to try to make ourselves lose weight, you know what I'm talking about. I've done that too. It's just not worth it, babe, because trust me, the most beautiful girl you probably see, she's probably have her own insecurities too. You just don't see it, and that's really reflect that whatever's is going on externally on the outside here, it doesn't dictate your confidence. True unbreakable confidence is built from the inside. That's going to glow and reflect on the outside, because you could be the most beautiful girl, you could be this certain size, you could have beautiful hair, you could have the most lethal face cut, but if you still have all this insecurities inside, you never truly going to feel confident no matter how you look. But if you genuinely believe in your own self-worth and you don't need validation from all the external factors, other people, you are going to still feel a lot more confident. That's going to reflect on the outside and making you look like a 10 out of 10. So if you want to build unbreakable confidence, do it from the inside, focusing on your internal growth. Fix the inside and it's going to radiate on the outside, because when you change internally, the external transformation is inevitable. Trust me. Number 9, and I wish I knew this when I was younger, especially at 16 years old, never change yourself for anybody, because you're gonna end up hating it. This has a lot to do with the fact that I was a serial people pleaser. Trust me, it was so bad to the point that I was willing to be the punching bag, putting up with disrespecting racist jokes just to be able to get included. That wasn't it. Or changing my look a certain way to, impress certain people. And at the end of the day, you know what? I have to go home and sit with myself, and if I don't like myself, I'm going to constantly losing self-trust and self-worth, and that do me me nothing good because I feel like I cannot trust myself. I don't even recognize myself. Why am I acting this way? I don't even know who I am. At one point, it gets so exhausting and I truly just want to go back to myself. It was never about becoming somebody, but really finding yourself, creating yourself within you. I don't know if that makes sense. That sounds abstract, but sit with it. Number 10, you do not need closure for everything. Something is going to end without closure, and that's completely okay. And just me as a Taurus, it was really hard for me to let go, but what I realized was that not having closure was what kept me holding on, because I keep thinking about what if, and to be able to preserve this good memory. But at the same time, it's kind of like a double sword. Not having closure is kind of also your closure, if you know what I mean. Like when somebody say not getting an answer is your answer, and I really sit with it and think about it, because I feel like there would have been closure, it would probably been bad, and I wouldn't be able to preserve this memory, this image, this perception of this person. So maybe that was for the better. Number 12, I say it once and I'm gonna say it again. You do not have to have everything figured out, babe. I know it might sound silly now, but back then, I know not just me, but you too, we think we need to have everything figured out. Your major figure out, what you're gonna study, who you're gonna end up and spend the rest of your life with, who you're gonna be friend with, what you like. Like, you don't need to figure out right now. Enjoy your life. Live in the moment. Treasure these experiences in time with your loved one. Those are the things that you cannot get enough of. You cannot get more with time. All these other things, your job, your career, your degree, yeah, they're important, but you get to change your mind anytime. Hello? You can change your mind when you're in your 20s. You can change your mind when you're in your 30, 40, 50. It's literally never too late. You can change your mind at any given moment, and that's your power. Don't forget that. Number 13, and take this from me because it's true, get so much better than what you could have imagined. Yep, you are going to be able to get to a point where you get to look back, like I do sometime now, and think all those pains that you endure, all those tests that you were put through, all the shitstorm you fought your way out of, they were all worth it. You might not have your life all together, but it gets so much better. Because if you look back from your point of view, like I do now, to myself 5 years ago, I've literally got everything my 16 years old wanted. So I want you to flip the script. Anything you want now in your 20s, your 30 years old self is going to be able to look back and tell your 20 years old self, bro, we did it. We did it. We really got everything we ever wanted. And so on and so on and so on. Because the fact that you got through everything the universe throw at you, every single test you were put through, they lead you to become the exact person who you need to become. They lead you to meet the exact people that your soul been waiting on. Their soul been waiting on for you too. If you think that you have experienced these out of the world love, you have made such good friends, imagine all the people you haven't met, because before you met those people, you didn't know you would meet them too. So imagine the people you have yet to meet, places you have yet to visit, things you have yet to do. Doesn't it just feel so good? I know, perspective. And last but not least, this one I actually added in last night after watching this podcast. Do not take advice from people who are not living the life you want to live, who are not feeling the way you want to feel, who are not who you want to become. Yep, let that sink. That's apply to your mom, your dad, your neighbor, best friend, your siblings. They are not living the life you want to live. If they are not feeling the way you want to feel, they don't have the thing that you want to have. Do not take their advice. I might get hate for saying this, but this is all off the record. This is me before I filter it all. Once I heard it, it makes so much sense. You are not going to go to a baker for financial advice. So why are we putting this power of access to our guidance into the hands of people who we don't necessarily want to live their life? Not because there's anything wrong with their life or the way they live or how they feel. If that's just not how you want to live, how you want to feel, their advice is not going to get you where you want to be for yourself, where you want to feel. And that just really hit me. And I say this because I love my best friend with all my heart, and so a lot of the time I have taken her advice, especially when I was younger, like it's literally the Bible. And I wonder, but I learned now from yesterday, the person I'm taking that advice from, do I want to live the way they live currently? Do I want to feel the way they feel currently? From everything I know about them. If not, skip that up. You know what you should do instead? Listen to yourself, because I realized there's only two possible scenarios. If you listen to yourself, this might change your complete mind, okay? And this is to do with your self-trust. This is going to help you reset your self-trust, to listen to yourself and to trust yourself, to be able to take the risk, do whatever you need to do, and not relying on other people's advice. It's one, you're going to listen to yourself, take the risk, and it didn't work out, but you realize that this is not the way you want it to be. So you learn for the next time that you are going to do whatever you can to avoid the same outcome Or second scenario, it worked out, it's perfect, exactly how you want it to be. Then you know, in order to achieve that or similar outcome, continue doing that. You continue taking the risk. There's only two possible scenarios. I've been thinking about it since yesterday and I cannot think of any other one. At the end of the day, it's actually not that bad to trust yourself and let yourself decide on things. And do not take advice from people who is not living the life you want to live. That's all I've got to say. Mic drop. That is all off the record, by the way. And take this from me as a very, very insecure, frigid girl. It does get better and you are not alone. Your power is literally the fact that you get to decide to change any second of the day. And if you are currently navigating your 20 right now, when you are constantly learning things, unlearning, doing things, undoing things, always feel like, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? I want you to know, please trust yourself, because like I said, there's literally two scenarios. Going to work out and you're gonna freaking love it. It doesn't going to work out and you realize that you shouldn't do it next time in order to get a different outcome. That's literally it. And I also want you to know that you are never alone on this journey. I am here with you every step of the way. If you like this week therapy sessions, make sure you subscribe and I will see you guys next week.